Happy holidays. Well, I was going to ask you about being invited to the All-State Sugar Bowl. That's a big deal, and you'll be down there with a lot of other great players. Kind of tell me, are you excited about this opportunity?
Oh, completely. So I've never been in New Orleans before, and just the opportunity to do this. At first, I was like, oh my God, I never even think I'd get a chance to actually do it. So many people that got nominated, so when they picked me, I was like, whoa. So like every step of the way, like every time I get an email from Scott or from All-State, I'm just like, oh, like, wow, I'm like really going. So, I mean, I'm really excited about it. And then like, I'm excited to see the community service projects that we're going to get into once we get down there as well.
Well, I said there's a little bit of responsibility. It's not going to be all fun and games. Kind of talk about you are going down there in a way to do a job.
Oh, yeah, definitely down there to go to do a job and meet some of the people down there. I know even from the things we wear, like the whole entire itinerary is set out. We got curfews at night. There's no drinking. We're really going to be there about business. Of course, we're going to have our fun. We're going to see a lot of things and do a couple, ceremonies, maybe balls and stuff here and there in our hotel. But it's definitely going to be about business, and I'm ready to do that.
Now, I know you're going to be doing a camp with Marshall Falk. That's going to be neat. Are you looking forward to that and working with the kids?
Yeah, I love doing that. That's usually what I get into when I get home. I get sad sometimes I don't get to go home and do those things like in the spring and stuff. So getting a chance to do that was going to be pretty awesome, I think. And just to see the different kids. I'm not sure the age group from, I don't know if it's 5 years old, middle schools or high schools, doesn't matter to me. I'm pretty excited to do that as well. Get out there and get a sweat in too.
Right. So as you move forward in life and your military career, do you envision continuing to do this type of work, Meyer?
Oh, definitely, because this is what makes me happy. If I can do this while I'm in the military, when I'm out of the military, I'm definitely gonna do that. If it's gonna be expanding the organization that we already have now, or just getting my head into some other things, I'm definitely gonna do it. Probably until the day I die.
All right, thanks, pal.
No problem.
Thanks, Mike.
Have fun down. Well, you no longer have the interim tag. You are the defensive coordinator. Tell me your thoughts.
It's an honor. I'm excited about it. Again, it's been an interesting year, but I guess it worked out the way it was going to. It's exciting.
Now that you are no longer interim, you're not under a trial basis, you can pretty much go crazy and do whatever you want, right?
Actually, there's more pressure now. When I thought Buddy might be coming back, it was a little less pressure. But we'll do what we do, and there's some things that we can still get much better at, and we need to work toward those goals. I'm excited with the staff that we have. I think we have a tremendous staff. So, and that makes your job a lot easier when you have those kind of people to work with.
Will it change your approach in the off season? I mean, I think this means a different role for you in the off season. You've got to start looking at some more big picture stuff.
Yeah, probably I'll look at different things. I haven't looked at coverage for a long time. I haven't had to, so I need to look at some coverage things. Coach O'Brien is really good with coverage, so we'll talk about those kinds of things, and it's
and overall
that
personnel. Probably you got to be the guy that looks at the
I've only looked
package.
at 3 guys before, so I'll look at all those things, which I've been doing since we made this change anyway. So not that much will change. I mean, my picture's widened, but all in all, it's about what I've been doing. So it'll stay the same.
This season, did you work with the D-line at all, or were you not really able to?
No, I worked with the tackles. I had the tackles all the time. Yeah, Coach Nua kind of ran the meetings so that I could go into other rooms at times. But that was the biggest change. I mean, he ran the meetings and he installed. He did all of those things. I was still in the room a lot of the time, but it freed me up to be able to go into the DB room or into the outside linebacker room, or I could roam a little bit more. And again, he's done a tremendous job. He's a super coach. It wouldn't matter if I was in there or not. He could take the room right now and be just fine.
So moving forward next year, now that you are full defensive coordinator, do you think you'll continue to work with the tackles?
Probably, yeah.
Right. Just because that's what you know. And
well, it's where I'm comfortable, and that's where we need help. Again, Coach Nua could do it all. It's nice to be able to split that up. I think our nose guards have played better because of it. Our tackles have played better. They're getting more individualized coaching. It's like with the outside backers, we're having RB Green there with Coach Davis. They've gotten much better because one guy's teaching one and one's teaching another, and they're just getting more time to work on their specific skills. So, that's it's always better the more you can kind of divide it up like that.
Right. The next thing I was going to ask you about is Pitt. I guess first and foremost, their offensive line is very experienced. They have like 127 career starts amongst them. Right. One guy's an all-ACC type of guy. What are you seeing out of that offensive line?
They're an excellent offensive line. I mean, they're Notre Dame good. I mean,
Really?
they're
Okay.
big, they're physical, they know who to block, they know when to come off of blocks to get linebackers. They're exceptional. I think one big part of their run game, or the reason the run game is so good, is they have tremendous offensive linemen.
Right.
I think their O-line is very polished. They're well coached. Again, they're big. They're quick. They have good feet. So we're in for a big challenge up front.
And this back, he's a load. He's 220. It sounds like he's a
really
handful.
strong runner. If he gets going downhill, we'll have some problems. We need to keep him trying to run sideways, and the other back, 22, is also. I mean, he's probably a little quicker and more of a scat back type, but he runs hard too. Quarterback runs hard when he breaks out of the pocket. So they're a very physical football team. We need to come in with the right mentality, or we'll have problems.
Well, and this team likes to do what you all do. They can hold the ball. They're amongst the highest teams in the ACC and the nation in time of possession. I think they had one game they held the ball 39 minutes.
Right. Yeah, they're going to make it a short game. I mean, we need to stop the run. That's the key to this one, is stop the run and play the pass the best we can. But we have to get them in those kinds of situations. If they can just keep pounding it 3-4 yards a time, it'll be a long afternoon.
All right. Thanks, Dale.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the secondary. I thought the secondary played really well against Army. I mean, the one hit that I guess it was Laurentez made on the quarterback was a game changer in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Daquan, obviously, with the huge pick. Brendan with the big pick. Just your thoughts on how that group played in the Army-Navy game.
We made a couple mistakes on a couple pass plays, but other than that, those guys really showed up when they needed to on the run game. And like you said, Tez with his big hit on the quarterback on the fold play, he just came downhill, picked the guy up, and put him back. And Daquan obviously with that pick at the end of the game. I mean, we basically tried to win the game 3 or 4 times there at the end with 2 picks and a fumble recovery. So it was probably one of the most exciting end of a game I've ever been a part of. But I don't really want to be a part of an exciting finish like that again.
It was funny because Daquan said he darn near bit on that fake, but then something in the back of his mind said, I'm supposed to be in deep coverage, and he started drifting back. And when you looked at the replay, did he do what he was supposed to do, or what was he close to making a mistake?
He definitely bit on the first pass, so but he did a nice job of, his guy was the guy that they threw to, and he was supposed to cover him, but it's a good thing athletically. He's just such a good athlete. He can just flip his hips, turn around. Did a nice job of judging the ball in the air, and it felt like he hung there for about 8 seconds to catch the thing.
Yeah,
but,
right. He got up, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got some of the best hops on the team. So he was able to get up and go get it and came down with it, which was a huge play for us at the end of the game there.
Can you talk about his development? Because there's a kid who had to, come in when Quazell got injured, and he's gotten better and better. I know early on he made a few mistakes in that first game and probably was a little unsure of himself, but I think, as we've watched him grow, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's done a great job of just, coming in, watching film on his own, ask a lot of questions, try to figure out exactly what he's got to do on each play. And, he's been out here in a cast right now, but he's, he'll be fine for the game. So he's been in the back with me, standing there watching and, talking with me, asking about the adjustments and all that stuff. So, he's just a real intelligent kid, great athlete again, and, has the ability to be really, really good. So he just works really hard at it and continue to work hard. I think he'll be a really good player for us in the future here.
I think Tez has had a bit of an overlooked season. I think he's maybe second on the team in tackles or up there. He's made a lot of tackles for a secondary guy. Can you talk about the job he's done, particularly in run support?
Yeah, with a guy like Tez who, doesn't get a lot of credit because, he's a first-year starter. No one would think that with the way he's played all year. Again, he's another one of those guys that's just really smart, like even Quazell, really smart kid as well. So he's come in and stepped up and taken over a leadership role back there with Quincy and really worked hard this year to be as good as we can be on defense. Hopefully we can get number 11 here in the bowl game, and those kids will go on and have the best record in Navy football history.
And Quincy and Brendan, obviously they were returning corners of proven entities, but then do you think they've played pretty solid, done what you expected out of those two?
Absolutely. It always helps to have experience back there in the secondary. It's one of your most important positions on defense, and having those two guys in Quazell early, and even though Quazell went down, he's been great with the guys on the sidelines, and staying in the game and coaching up Daquan and Tez, and sees the stuff on the sidelines. But obviously Brendan's a really, really good corner. Quincy's a good corner, and even the young guys, and Sean Williams, who's been out here working hard. and even Merchant, both those guys had to start the first game of the year. So, you know, the nice thing is you've been able to develop some depth here, and guys have got some game experience, and you know, again, it looks like a bright future here.
Last but not least, this receiver for Pitt. He's their all-time leading receiver of both catches and receptions. Boyd. They've had some good receivers, Larry Fitzgerald, and I can go on and on. What do you see out of this kid? What makes him special?
I mean, he just does a great job of running routes and catching the ball. I mean, that quarterback will put it into coverage, and he's the one who comes out of coverage with the ball. So, you know, you got to find ways to try to take their best players out of the game. The problem is they got other good receivers and tight ends that you don't want to leave uncovered. So it kind of puts you in a bind as a defense, but you got to do what you got to do to try to find ways to take their best player out of the game. I know they got some stuff to try to give him the ball, but we just got to have great eyes and be aware of where he is on the field at all times.
They flop him a lot. I was going to say, I mean, you don't know for sure who's going to cover him then. Probably
No,
Quincy and Brennan, both at some point, right?
Yeah, and they'll put him in the slot a couple times to try to isolate him, you know, on our strikers or outside linebackers and all that stuff. But they do a good job moving him around, motion and shifting and all that stuff, kind of mix up the look to try to get him in a spot where they think they can have the best chance of getting the ball.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.